Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm on the winning team. I'm in a different league. I'm like a symphony. Buy you some Tiffany's. Ooh, look at me. Look at me.
Ooh, that was a game.
Look at me.
Was a game.
Look at me. I'm on the winning team. I'm in a different league.
Now you in 2025 and you're having a good year, but listen, we want to go back to 2024 just for a second and remember everything that we have accomplished in 2024, because 2024 was a special year, but it's a new year. And I hope that you didn't leave anything on the field in 2024. And I hope that you're satisfied with this year and how this year has begun. And blessings to you and all of your families in 2025. Now, I spent most of the holidays working on my empire, but I was able to spend some quality time with the family as well. Spent some quality time watching some Magic basketball. I saw Tristan da Silva, man, them 25 points against the Raptors. Man, listen, that rookie, we might have a third option to Pablo and Franz Wagner, man, if he keeps playing like that. But anyway, 2024, it was a year to remember for me, because as you all know, I met one of my brothers on my father's side for the first time in 2024, and I was also able to finish building my grill for my catering business, dinner, and the movie last summer. A lot of things has happened. I was able to start our Henderson Show with Max. So a lot of things has been great. But moving on, to what you guys have been able to do this year, in your lives. Think about some of the things that you have accomplished in 2024 as we move forward with this show, because a lot of accomplishments happening, around the sports world and around, the political world. And, moving forward, we want to talk a little bit about, some good old Magic basketball, and what Tristan da Silva did, but we also want to talk a little politics. Now, I will never forget 2024, because that was the year of my show and also a year where I celebrated the 10-year anniversary of my third documentary movie. The show will go on 3 after the Heisman, the Jameis Winston movie. But as we move forward into 2025, we take a look at the landscape of sports politics. Whether you live here in Tallahassee or any part of Florida, there are politics that have an effect on your everyday spending experiences. Florida local taxpayers may have to pay more in the upcoming years as the Orlando City Council approves of a new development in Orlando. To break that all down, we have the writer from Seeking Rents in the building, Mr. Jason Garcia. Now, Jason, how's it going today?
Good. How are you?
Really good, man. A pleasure to have you on today.
Oh, thanks for having me. I started to listen to you remind me that the Raptors got killed by the Magic. The Toronto Raptors are the team I root for.
Oh, okay. Well, we had a little rivalry there, but
Not
yeah.
much.
Right. Well, I was just so happy that the rookie Tristan da Silva, he actually led the team in scoring. Led the team, without Paulo and Franz being injured. I was very surprised to see him be able to step into that role. But just flipping to that, because a lot of sports fans are in Orlando and look at the games, and there some new news that you have, wrote a story about. And I just wanted you to kind of break down that story that you wrote about. So I give you the floor.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate you doing that. So, yeah, we had a piece. And so just a little background for anybody, for folks that don't know. So I'm a longtime journalist in Florida. I write about the ways businesses influence public policy in Florida. The newsletter I have is called Seeking Rents, and it's not an apartment hunting website. It's a website about the name comes from a term in economics called rent seeking. And rent seeking is what's happening when someone with lots of wealth and influence uses their wealth and influence to get laws changed in their favor in a way that allows them to capture even more wealth and influence for themselves, usually at the expense of someone else. And that's kind of what's going on with the Orlando Magic here in Orlando. They are planning a large, essentially commercial development right across from the Kia Center. It's, there'll be an office tower, a residential tower. There's some entertainment venues, stuff. They're calling it an sports and entertainment district, but it's essentially just a big commercial property development. And they have tapped the city of Orlando for an incentive package of worth more than $40 million from local taxpayers. And so that includes a $2.5 million cash grant plus what will be up to $40 million worth of property tax rebates. And that's obviously money that comes out of services for, police and trash and parks and that sort of thing. So there's a real cost to this development. So the piece we wrote was focusing on that incentive package and some of the other perks that are coming along with it. So one of the things at its first meeting of the new year, the city council in Orlando is going to create this, they call them a community development district for this development down here. Right, you can see it on that map there. It's right next to the Kia Center. And this is the sort of thing that for a lot of folks, it'll make their eyes glaze over. Like, what do I care about a community development district? But when you do this sort of thing, that's going to entitle the Magic and its real estate development partners to tap into a bunch of federal tax breaks as well. So they'll be able to finance, part of this development includes a $44 million parking garage, right? That'll be privately owned, but they're going to be able to essentially issue public debt to pay for that. And that'll allow them to get lower interest rates, essentially subsidized by federal taxpayers. And that's all on top of that $40 million local taxpayer package we talked about earlier. So the piece we did was trying to dive into that and looking at, just all of the different ways that local taxpayers and federal taxpayers now too will be subsidizing this Magic real estate development. And, it's part of a broader sort of spectrum happening across Florida. We're seeing this, just a couple of months ago, Ron DeSantis gave an $8 million taxpayer grant to the owners of Inter Milan, the soccer team in Miami, for a development they're doing that'll include a new soccer stadium. Meanwhile, you have the Tampa Bay Rays are sort of negotiating a giant incentive or giant development package of their own that ultimately could cost taxpayers in Pinellas County and St. Petersburg more than $2 billion for a new baseball stadium and real estate development. So, in one sense, this is the more things change, the more they stay the same. Everybody claims to hate subsidies for pro billionaire team owners, but they keep happening, and they're happening in Florida as we speak.
Yeah, and when I think about that, I know it's directly affecting the taxpayers, but when I think about the development, what type of amenities is this development? I mean, I know it's a broad word, just development, but what is it? I mean, is it arcade? Is it a place where the players can meet the fans? I mean, I know you said it was a parking garage just going to be added on, but how much is that parking garage? How much is it amenities? How much is it, things that fans or the taxpayers can actually enjoy?
Yeah, so it's the way to think of this is essentially one giant commercial development. Like, so what'll be there is there'll be a hotel and office tower. So there'll be, I think I saw that it was 27 stories. So the first, 11 or 12 floors will be a hotel. Okay. The upper stories will be an office tower. There'll also be an apartment tower as well, and most of those are going to be market rate apartments. When the Magic were angling for the subsidies to help support construction of this, people touted that there'll be some affordable housing units in these apartments. There will be 10 out of 270 that will be affordable. So it's not going to do much to solve any sort of affordable housing crunch here. There will be a big part of this development that's getting featured in renderings and stuff is an open air plaza type entertainment venue. So that will be a place that, fans going to games could probably congregate there for, before or after the game or during events. So there will be a lot of like public facing commercial amenities as well. But, it's essentially it's just a large real estate development.
Okay. Yeah, and when I think about it, is it going to be like, attached to the Kia Center? It's going to be across the street from the Kia Center? I mean, how is this development going to look?
It's just across the street from the Kia Center. So they're calling it the Sports and Entertainment District, and this is being built. If I'm going off memory, this is on the site of the former Orlando Police Department headquarters, which they demolished and sold the site to the Magic. And so they've got lots of renderings that you'll see it, but it won't be attached to the Kia Center as far as I'm aware, but it'll be right across the street. And so it'll, the feel of it will be what one big sort of plaza-like atmosphere. It all seems intentionally designed to feel like all part of the same development with the Kia Center, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and have they given like a idea when this development will be completed? Are we looking like 2 or 3 years? Are we looking some short term or long term?
Yeah, I'm going off memory here, so I don't have that in front of me, but I believe they're getting ready to start. So once they get this financing district locked away, they'll be able to they'll be able to start work on the infrastructure, that parking garage plus some of the other infrastructure on the site. I think I saw 2027, although don't quote me on that. I also, the other thing going on is this is local leaders in Orlando have just also agreed to put another $250 million into the Kia Center, into renovations in there. That again, subsidies that's coming from county taxpayers who are going to foot that bill. And those renovations, the debt financing for that is supposed to be issued by 2027. And, one little sort of interesting perk about or one sort of interesting detail about all this is, as part of this, the Kia Center, which used to be known as the Amway Center, was built, again, with public money, of course. 90% public money was built specifically for the Magic. But as part of this renovation and the debt they're going to issue to pay for this $250 million renovation to the building, the city and the Magic are currently negotiating a lease extension. So that'll be really interesting to see, what sort of ancillary perks end up in a lease extension. Because, a lot of times we talk about sort of like dollar amounts, like $1 amount for incentive packages. But what you find is it tends to understate the total value of all the incentives that these sports teams gets. And I'll just give you one example. Like, in addition to building the arena for the Magic also get the rights to get the income from naming rights deals, right? So these negotiations over things like lease extensions are really important, because you'll see a lot of other subtle ways in which taxpayers can end up subsidizing these developments.
Okay. And when I read the article, I know, you say that the Atlanta Magic is worth about $3.2 billion right now. Now in 2022, they are only worth 1.8 according to Forbes. So
yeah,
that's almost double. So how were they able to do this? Is this all? I know they got Paulo Banchero, the superstar. They're able to win games and stuff like that, but. That's a large amount to be doubled.
Yeah, that's right. Investing in pro sports teams, there's a reason so many billionaires do it. It's a really good investment because essentially there's a very finite supply. These are essentially government sanctioned monopolies, these professional sports leagues, and because you get so much taxpayer subsidies out of this. So the one of the main drivers of sports team values are these arenas, and being able to sort of essentially have the public foot the bill, one of your biggest costs, right? Whereas you pocket all the income from sort of using the arena and that sort of thing. So, just in the case of the Magic, in just the past 10 years, they've tripled in value, right? And a big part of that is having, an arena which was 90% publicly funded, and yet the Magic can squeeze the revenue out for itself, and this is, to be clear, not unique to the Magic. This is kind of the pro sports racket, right?
Yeah.
This is a big driver of value. Even the Tampa Bay Rays, I was sort of surprised about this, because in the context of their discussions and their lobbying for funding for a new stadium, you often hear folks will talk about how they're one of the least valuable franchises in Major League Baseball, which is true. But even them, they have more than doubled in value in the past 10 years. That's a fantastic investment. Owning the least valuable Major League Baseball team is still a pretty good investment, it turns out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I know this is pro sports that we're talking about, but even on the college level, I think about the Al Lawson Gymnasium that FAMU Rattlers have, and they're not as bad as they once were as far as the basketball team, but it's a lot of opportunity there for revenue to be generated there on a season like this year. They just got Shaquille O'Neal's son. He's playing for the Rattlers right now, and he's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's starting to bring a lot of people to the arena, which was, like I say, it's maybe like 10 people at the arena before he got there, man. So, I mean, I'm just thinking about how this could translate even on a college level when it comes to the revenue as far as generating revenue from taxpayers as well.
Yeah, well, that's a tricky question. And so, college is somewhat of a different beast because you're dealing with like public assets and stuff. And so, you would hope a school that generates money from its athletic programs or from football and basketball essentially is using that money to support other public programs, whether that's the school itself or other athletic programs that aren't revenue raisers. But the thing to keep in mind about pro sports development and stuff like that is for many years, teams like peddled this myth that they were creating economic development. They would talk about all the spending that happens at basketball games and around an arena. And what has been shown over and over by sort of serious economic studies is this is not real. This is not new spending. This is just essentially displacement spending. So, if the Magic weren't in Orlando, all the money that gets spent on, going to basketball games and having dinner when you go to a basketball game, that sort of thing, that money would still get spent, but it would get spent on some other form of entertainment, whether that's going to movies or concerts, or this is all it changes the nature of the spending. It doesn't create much new spending.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And, going forward, for the fans, in the area, the taxpayers in Central Florida and things of that nature, how would they look forward to this building? I mean, what are some of the things that they can look forward to, in the next few years, after the development?
Yeah, from a taxpayer's perspective, I'm not sure what they can look forward to other than sort of hoping that their elected officials actually start to drive some hard bargains. Maybe I'm stealing an idea from Scott Maxwell, who's the columnist at the Orlando Sentinel. I think I saw him put this in there, but maybe cities and counties ought to start insisting on a piece of these teams for subsidizing them, right? So let us get when the Magic triples in value over the last 10 years because we built them a new arena that they're able to monetize. Maybe we cash in a little bit on that appreciation, right? So maybe you could look for that sort of thing to happen. I'm not super optimistic. The real estate development will be great. The issue to keep in mind, sort of to the displacement talk, is one thing Florida has not struggled with is finding real estate developers, right? There is quite a bit of demand to develop real estate. So I'm not sure, it will be in the eye of the beholder whether or not what the Magic develops is better than what any other sort of commercial property developer with access to a city block, an entire city block right in downtown Orlando would have built, But, that, like I said, eye of the beholder on some of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see, how the Florida taxpayers are going to benefit off of this, this new development as far as, with the parking. I know parking might not be as great. I don't know. Maybe need more hotels near the stadium. Is it easier to convince people? I mean, I guess because the Magic are winning. They just won like 48 games last year. They're on pace to win a little bit more than that this year. I guess it's easier to convince people when you're winning and, showing results compared to when they was 22-60.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. You ask any sports team lobbyist, they will probably admit that their job is a lot easier when they're lobbying when the team is doing well and everybody feels good about it, right?
Right.
So in that sense, it's not a bad time to be knocking on City Hall's door for some subsidies.
Yeah, I mean it's like my son, man. He wants to ask me for stuff when he makes all A's, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, of course you can have it, man. I mean. Yeah, so I mean, I guess it makes a little sense. But Jason, man, we appreciate you for joining the show, breaking down, the article, brilliant article that obviously I didn't know about and a lot of our viewers did not know about, and I appreciate you for kind of coming on to the show and breaking that down for us, man.
Yeah, happy to do it. Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Most definitely, man. Thanks for coming.
Take care.
And that was Jason Garcia, guys, with Seeking Rents. He's the guy that wrote the article about the sports billionaires that keep feasting on the Florida taxpayers. You can Google it, and you can actually read up on it yourself. But coming into the show now, I got my man, Duke DaGreat. We're going to talk some good old NBA basketball. Duke DaGreat, how you doing out there, man? All right, so, we take a turn from high school football and turn to the NBA where history has been made for the most part. When NBA fans have the Jordan versus LeBron debate, it's always heated, right? It's always, people always, talking about, oh, well, this and that. You know, I think LeBron, you know, since he, you know, done played longer, and since LeBron done, you know, put up more points, then they say Jordan. They say, well, you know, Jordan, you know, he got 6 championships. That's the one that, you know, I hear the most, you know, the 6 championships. So, you know, that's the one that, you know, people kind of lean towards as far as the Jordan side. But, you know, the debate is always, you know, heated. It's always entertaining. But lately the debate is leaning heavily in LeBron James' favor. And I'm going to tell you why. LeBron James, who is now officially the oldest player in the NBA and still playing at an all-star level, he has entered his 22nd season and has a son on the roster with him. You already know that, right? But what you might not know is that King James just passed Michael Jeffrey Jordan for the most 30-point games in NBA history. I mean, this is amazing, man. I mean, you know, this is one of those things that most of the Jordan fans, when it comes to the 30-point games, this is one of those things that they always held as well. It wasn't just the 6 rings. It was how he was able to score those 30-point games. Now, this is a feat that I know LeBron James fans all over the world are using to bolster their argument, you know, against his airness. But to break down the historic moment in LeBron's career, you know, I bring back to the show his biggest fan in Tallahassee, my man Duke DaGreat. So Duke DaGreat, man, we're going to talk a little bit about some basketball, man. What you got going on?
Just chilling. How you doing?
Good, man. Can't complain. So now we know that, you know, the Jordan versus LeBron debate, you know, the Jordan fan just took another blow to the stomach after this historic accomplishment by LeBron. But how do you think LeBron is looked at compared to Jordan now after this?
Well, I mean, Jordan and LeBron debate getting over with. And mine just really getting solidified, and he just packing on. So it's like it's really over with.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, man, you know, for me it was over with in 2021. You know, after we saw, you know, what he was able to do at an older age. But now, you know, this is something different, though. You know, this is not just LeBron just passing, you know, him in points or something like this. This is one of those. It's almost one of those the 6 rings type of arguments that, you know, like if you could finally break that, you know, like if LeBron can win, like 2 more. No, you need 1 more, right? How many you need? 1 or 2 more?
You need 2 more. You got
2 more. Okay. But this kind of remind me, like, if he was to get 2 more championships or something, then like what are you gonna say now? Because now he has more 30-point games than Jordan. So where can you lean the argument to now when it comes to you know that? But I
ain't even get on the 6 rings thing because we know it take a team to win a championship.
Right.
So you know when we go to break. Just can't really look at championships, and like how they say LeBron just broke his 30-point game way more efficient than Jordan did.
Right. And to speak to some of that efficiency, I know you got some stats you wanted to bring up as far as, you know, what Jordan was able to do compared to LeBron, and you know, you can have the flow and go ahead and, you know, bring up what you got.
Oh well. Jordan then had 927 games when he took more than 20 shots, averaging 5 points and 5 rebounds and 3 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
He had 187 games when he took over 35 shots.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the efficiency level with LeBron is off the charts.
But so what it sounds like to me, it sounds like you saying that Jordan just jacking up shots, man. He just jacking up shots, and they really taking no time to really get nobody involved. You know, he just jacking up shots and just doing his own thing. That would have sounded like you saying.
In my opinion, that was one of his biggest knocks to me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really until later in his career start trying to get his teammates involved into the game.
Okay.
He was trying to be like a one-man show.
Okay.
And I think that's why he wasn't as successful.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Bounced in the first round, 3-4 times, not doing nothing till he got started picking with it.
Well, we want to allow some of the fans, for the show, to get a chance to, call in if they would like, from Facebook, or either comment on Facebook and respond to what Duke DaGreat has said about this historic accomplishment that LeBron has accomplished. So if you're out there on Facebook, Instagram, or you're on the phone, go ahead and call into the show. You can also text into the Facebook, and we'll look at the comments to see, and we'll bring up your questions, so you can, so we can respond to what you were saying. But just to respond to what you were saying, about the efficiency, those are one of the things that people are not looking at, when it comes to the debate. I don't think there's too many Jordan fans that's screaming about efficiency when they're talking about debating against LeBron. I think that was a debate they might have had with maybe Kobe when they, argued about him and Kobe, but I don't think they had that. I don't think that's something that I ever seen come up when it comes to the Jordan and LeBron. So at this point, I'm thinking that the only thing that the fans from the Jordan camp are holding on to is the 6 rings, or the 2 more rings that are still eluding LeBron James. I'll let you respond.
Well, you got to kind of put it how they are 6-0. That's what they holding on to, 6-0.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The 6 rings.
Okay.
It's the 6-0.
It's the 6-0. It's the 6-0. Okay.
But they don't say he don't talk about how he had the best team those 6 years in the NBA.
But don't you think that even though it'll be a 6-0, he'll always have he's never lost in the finals, so he'll always have like a unblemished record in the finals. But don't you think that if someone wins 2 more championships, that kind of trumps? I mean, because you're pretty much saying, okay, I was able to win 6, and then I was able to go to the finals 6 more times. You know what I'm saying? So wouldn't that kind of trump the whole 6-0 argument if you was only able to get there 6 times?
Well, in my opinion, I done brought it up, and I always talk about, the Bill Russell with the 11. When you go to talk about Bill Russell better than Jordan, he got 11. Then they want to throw the rings out, and then go to the regular stats like points, rebounds, assists, and all that stuff. When it kind of feeds their narrative.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you definitely want to, look at, things on a more realistic, but I think for the most part, man, like when we start really thinking about this argument, when it comes to Jordan and LeBron, we got to start breaking down, the actual wins, and what they was able to do, because now it's kind of like we got to start going with a fine-tooth comb. I mean, for the Jordan fans anyway, like they got to start going with a fine-tooth comb and try to figure out where they can have an argument with, as far as if it's statistical games and game 1s, or maybe explosive game 5s or something like that. I mean, you got to go to a different category. You know what I mean?
Kind of in my opinion, a fine-tooth comb really ain't gonna help, because it's missing some of the teeth in it now. Because all the accolades, the stats for points, rebounds, assists, LeBron like number 1 in all those in the regular season, and he's number 1 in everything in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really nothing they can stand on anymore. The cheddar been pulled from under. You have never seen another athlete across any sport, baseball, football, basketball, that had a run of dominance like this over 21 years. Coming in, raw 18, not having a real coach prior to, getting in the NBA, to really taking over the NBA and dominating for 22 years straight. And in my opinion, he's still a top 5 player at this current moment.
Yeah. I mean, so now, when we look at the debate and the all-time greatness and stuff like that, obviously you got LeBron number 1. where does this put Jordan in your opinion on the list of the top, the top 5, or is he even in your top 5?
He in the top 5.
Okay.
I gotta make second, third, because can't forget about old Allen Iverson now. So,
Oh wait, yeah,
you
he
know
can
what I'm
get
saying? But I know a lot of people look over him because he ain't got no championships. But
yeah.
when we talk about individual players and
Well, that's what we're talking
dominating
about.
the game,
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So I mean, at the end of the day,
so
so you got him, 3 right under Allen Iverson. Now, what about do you have him over Kobe Bryant? I mean, because
Kobe Bryant. To me, Kobe Bryant
but most people were saying when Kobe Bryant came into the league, most people were saying that he was the new version of Michael Jordan. Like he was the 2.0 of Michael Jordan. Like he had a better shot. Nobody's gonna argue that Jordan was a better 3-point shooter, a better shooter than Kobe Bryant. So, do you have Jordan on top of Kobe?
No, I got Jordan on top of Kobe because, like how we was talking the other day, when Kobe came in the league, he had to put on a Robin outfit.
Okay.
He had to play second fiddle to Shaq. So he was allowed time to, get groomed and polished into who he became, studying Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, I get that to a certain degree, but I'm just talking about because remember we're talking about individual players though, because I just think that we probably might get sidetracked when we're talking about the whole Jordan and Kobe thing because I don't see how you can say that Kobe was a better, shooter and all this stuff than Jordan, and they pretty much played defense about the same. But what did Jordan do better than Kobe, I guess is what I'm trying to figure out, in your opinion.
He was a better, offensively, he was better one-on-one. Cause he was.
Then Kobe being Bryant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey. Jordan was the original one-man army.
Man, listen, man. I mean, one-on-one, that was Kobe thing, you know what I mean? Like, but that was
I got a question for you. Do you feel if Michael Jordan would have came in like Kobe, he would have been the second option to Shaq?
Would I think he would have been the second option to Shaq if he would have came in like how Kobe came in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most definitely he would have been the second option to Shaq. Most definitely, no question about it. Because back then it was a big man league, and then how it happened. You remember Shaq was in the league like 6 years before Kobe came in, so that would mean I'm talking about LeBron. That would mean Jordan would have to come in, 6 years after Shaq got in the league. And I don't think in his rookie year he would have been the number one option over Shaq. I mean, in that situation, I do think he would have been a nice number 2, but I can't see him being the number 1 over Shaq in that situation. You know what I mean? Because Shaq was pretty much the best player in the league. During that year when Kobe, was coming in there, he was like at least top 5. He was like top 5.
I feel like Jordan came in a little more polished than Kobe, seeing that he had done played in North Carolina for 3 years. I think he came in a little more ready to plug and play than Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, no, he was more ready to play. I'm just talking about as far as like, the type of player you would have to be a first option over that Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Over that Shaq. I mean, it's not too many players in history, especially you talking about coming in their league the first year as a rookie. You know what I mean? Like, gonna take the reins over Shaq. I mean, to be quite honest, I don't even think Iverson or LeBron would have did that over Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Because the league was just a big man league. It was a dump into the big man, type of game. And if you was a rookie, you weren't gonna get the first option over no Shaquille O'Neal. But I think that just to the whole point, man, with the whole Jordan versus Kobe thing, because we kind of getting off topic. I think that Kobe. I can't necessarily say that Jordan was a better offensive, because when you think about the efficiency, who you think was more efficient out of Kobe and Jordan? Because that was your whole point with Jordan in the first place. Like, who do you think more efficient than Kobe and Jordan?
They was around the same, but my thing with Kobe is Kobe didn't really have his own style. He kind of patterned his style after Michael Jordan.
Okay.
So it's like you can't be nothing but a replica. You trying to do what I did, the way I did.
But that's just go. I mean, Brad. I mean, come on now.
That's
just you looking up to it. That's just you looking up to, a player. You know what I mean, and you modeling your game. You know what I mean, like kind of what they doing and stuff like that. That's not to say that you know what I mean he can't be better than him just because he modeled his game after him. He could be a better version of him. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people was a better version than a lot of the players that came before them. Like you can name some of the players that came before Jordan. You know what I mean? And then look at the players. Some of the players now, you probably would say, these players are better. So, I mean, you gotta look at it like, if it's a newer version to me, and like you can't really say, it's a big difference between the two. I have to lean with the newer version. I have to lean with the newer version. In my opinion, I mean, especially, when you think about what Kobe meant to, to like his organization and stuff like that, man. Like, I know what Jordan meant to the game of basketball, back then, but I think it just was a different game. When Kobe was in the league, he was kind of like one of the ones that helped carry the league after Jordan to be in the position that it's in now. Him, Allen Iverson, obviously, LeBron, but those three guys, when I think about it, was really why the league is, how it is now. If you look at some of the players and how they play and how their style is, I mean, you can't really go, without those three players,
But I kind of look at the difference is like, okay, LeBron looked up to Jordan the same way Kobe Bryant did and the rest of the other players.
Mm-hmm.
But he developed his own game and just used certain skills, you know what I'm saying, that he seen like the fadeaway jumper that LeBron done kind of patented now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as far as his game, he had his own game. He
Right.
just used certain tools that Michael Jordan used to kind of like hone his skills in. And opposed to Kobe Bryant,
Yeah.
he just tried to be a straight up replica.
But it's just like
Even down to the way he walked down the court.
it's just like Luka Doncic though. I mean, Luka Doncic, his idol was LeBron James, but his game is not LeBron James's game. You know what I mean? Like
That's
he
what I'm
taken a part of LeBron James' game. He's able to put up big numbers, but his game is not LeBron James' game. He's nowhere near athletic. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't defend like LeBron. Like I mean, those are just two. I mean, that's just you and me freestyling, just two attributes that kind of X you out when it comes to LeBron. But this man has idolized LeBron, since he was, playing pro at 13. You know what I mean? So, that's a little different because they LeBron and him, like I say, one play defense, one don't. But with Jordan and Kobe, both of them was playing defense on the same level. One was shooting better. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you could kind of make a distinction, you know what I mean, like and see who was better unless you just want to be biased. But as far as like, what we have seen on the court, we kind of know LeBron was better than Luka because he played defense, you know what I'm saying, and did things that Luka didn't do. So, but I'll let you respond to that.
No, I was going to say that. That's why, like, I could never put somebody above somebody trying to be that person. Opposed to like if Kobe would have took a couple things and then developed his own game, but everything he do is just like the turning of the page of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would I want to replicate?
No, I get that. That's
just my whole point with the Kobe and Jordan. Like you said, it's like Jordan 2.0. Like it's just like another version of Jordan. No matter what you have, Jordan.
Nah, but I think that's a better debate because it's like, you know what I'm saying, at least you're looking at people that's similar, like their games are similar and stuff like that. You can kind of piece to what each other did better and stuff like that. Like LeBron and Jordan, like two different positions, two different players, in my opinion.
Two different strategies.
Yeah, that's what Hey, but listen, man, hey, nobody didn't call in, man. I guess they were scared of you. I guess they were scared, to call in and have a Jordan versus LeBron debate with Duke DaGreat. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and end it there, man, and we hope that they'll, you know, won't be as scared next time. And next time you come on, hopefully, you know, they'll come on, man, and we'll have a good debate.
All right, man. I told you, man, the debate over with, man. Anybody trying to defend that no more. The jury is out.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you joining the show, man. We'll talk a little later, man.
All right.
All right, guys. And yeah, that was Duke DaGreat, you know, the local entrepreneur and local hip hop artist here in Tallahassee, Florida. You know, one of my homeboys, man. We wanted to have a good debate, you know, with some of the people that was on Facebook and our social medias, but, you know, I guess nobody wanted to, you know, they be typing all week, you know, about what they would do on the show and, you know, what they want to do and all this stuff. But when we actually had the show, can't find nobody. So, you know, I guess that's just, you know, how it is. But I think that Jordan and LeBron debate is really over with, kind of like how, you know, Duke DaGreat was saying. A lot of the things that LeBron is doing now is something that we have never been seen before. And, you know, that's just put him in a different stratosphere. But we're going to move on with the show to the last section of the show, which is what's been on my mind. And, you know, basically what's been on my mind is, you know, just gratitude. You know, I've been, you know, very blessed to be able to start my venture with the food service of my company, Spencer R. Henderson Films. And I've just been very blessed, man. You know, I usually post up on College Avenue for those that have not had my food yet. I'm usually on College Avenue on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, somewhere between 10 to about 3 a.m. So it's late night barbecue. This is not, you know, barbecue that you can find when it's broad daylight. You know what I mean? Unless I'm just, you know, showing love and just out there and just trying to feed the community. Like sometimes I go to Piggly Wiggly and post up in front of Piggly Wiggly and feed the community out there as well. Sometimes I'll do that midday. It just depends on what I got going on. But for the most part, I'm cooking late night. So I'm a late night, you know, barbecue kind of mobile catering business. And again, just want to say thank you to all of my customers out there that have supported me throughout this first half of year of the venture. Just want to say thank you to my mother, who is the chef for the mac and cheese. For everybody that do not know, that is my mother that makes the mac and cheese. And that's why y'all so crazy about the mac and cheese, and that's why y'all always ask me about it every time I come out there. Want to thank my sons also for helping me out chop wood and bring the wood to the grill, making my job a little bit easier as well. So thank you to Spencer and Caden for that. Also, we got a game coming up on Wednesday, so if you guys want to come check out the game, our game will be on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. I think it's Jack McClain, if I'm not mistaken. Jack McClain. No, Walker Ford. Walker Ford. It's at Walker Ford. It's at Walker Ford at 6 o'clock. You know, obviously I'm the head coach, so my sons will be having their first basketball game of 2025. I'm excited about that. Just showing gratitude to the city of Tallahassee for allowing me to be the head coach to, you know, coach these young kids and, you know, develop these minds and show them something that they never probably ever seen before when it comes to broadcast. You know, just want to show thanks to everybody, to Max behind the scenes, you know, the guy that does the engineering for the show. I want to thank him. I want to thank, you know, just everybody that had a part of 2024 of being in my life and, you know, being able to help me move forward, you know, because this is what I dreamed about. This is what the dream was, and this is what I'm living. So I just wanted to thank you guys. That's what's been on my mind lately, giving back gratitude and doing it on my platform. And I just wanted to appreciate you guys and tell you guys I thank you guys once again. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end today's show. And I just want you guys to know that we're going to be here next week on Sunday. I'm going to try to bring in a couple of my ex-students who are doing big things up in New York. Got a couple producers that's doing things up in New York. Want to go ahead and share their experiences on my show because they want to. We haven't talked in a while, so this will be a good time for us to catch up. But until next week, man, I hope you guys have a great beginning of your year. I hope you guys stay safe, and I hope you guys stay blessed. Until we meet next time, I'll see you on the next episode.
Ooh, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm on the winning team. I'm in a different league. I'm like a symphony. Buy you some Tiffany's. Ooh, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm on the winning team. I'm in a different league. I'm like a symphony.